On March 11, 2020, the World Health Organization called the COVID-19 pandemic. It is caused by SARS coronavirus 2, that is SARS-CoV-2. This particular virus is an RNA virus, and that too a single-stranded RNA virus. What it means is that this particular virus has its genetic code written in an RNA, a single piece of RNA. This RNA is 30 kilobases in size, and the virus is covered by a lipid membrane, and through which its own proteins, that is the S protein or the spike protein, projects out. This spike protein is very important for the virus. It attaches to another protein which is present on our cells, our respiratory cells, which is called as ACE2 receptor. So the S protein binds to the ACE2 receptor, and that is its gateway to go inside our cells. Once it goes inside our cells, it multiplies there. It hijacks the entire cellular machinery, and then more and more coronaviruses form. These infect newer cells, and their number goes on increasing. If a person's immune system is good, that person takes care of the virus, and the person, if responds early and takes care of the virus early, remains asymptomatic. Otherwise, if the virus gains an upper hand and is going to destroy more and more cells of ours, the person lags with a serious disease and may have to be admitted to the wards. So what is the importance of variants here? The original virus which was there, which we got from Wuhan in the Hubei province of China, is considered as the original virus. And what happens is, there are small changes which happen in the genetic code of this virus. This small change is called as mutation, where one of the nucleic acid base is changed. You may remember that we have 4 bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. But in the case of RNA, it is uracil instead of thymine. So if any one of the bases change, what happens is that you can have a changed virus, a mutated virus. And if there are more than one or more changes in it, we call that particular strain of the virus as a variant. So when we compare it with the original virus, this particular variant has some difference in it due to mutation. So then what is the importance of this variants? The importance of the variants is that if that particular variant has a mutation in a particularly important protein, like a protein called S protein, then it can bind with the ACE2 receptor in a more tighter manner. And this can lead to more of infections, and the transmissibility of the virus can increase. So what can happen is, you can get more people infected because of this new variant. So what happens is, we call this, we always search for this variant through a process or through a method which we call as sequencing. So sequencing helps us to know whether there is any change in that particular sequence of the nucleotides in the virus. A change in nucleotide leads to change in amino acid. A change in amino acid leads to change in the structure of the protein which are there. So what are these different types of variations which can happen, or what are the variants that can be there? So first type of variant can be a variant of interest. Now a variant of interest is one which shows certain changes which are known to cause change in transmissibility of the virus, the severity of disease which is caused by the virus, or whether it would change the diagnostics which can be used for the virus. So if such a change is there, we call that particular virus variant as a variant of interest. On the other hand, if we have specific evidence that all these things, like increased transmissibility or increased severity of the disease or problems in diagnostics, then we call this as a variant of concern. For example, is the strain which was found in India first, and that was the B.1.617. Now what is known about this is that it spreads faster, it's more transmissible, and therefore it is of concern. Lastly, you have a variant which can be called as a variant of high consequence. Now, a variant of high consequence is one which leads to change in the practices for prevention of infection, change for diagnostics, causes a very severe type of disease, changed in the symptomatology. When all these things happen, we would call it as a variant of high consequence. But then the important thing is that we don't have a variant of high consequence of SARS coronavirus 2 at present.